writers, like even at the studio level, that are some of my favorite writers that have never had a credit made.
This is really the most simple interview, but he says it all. If you haven't listened to this interview, go back and watch it because you have an actor who's also a writer describing how he got his movie made and how exactly things have changed. So the interviewer asked him, how did you get this movie made after all this time or all these years? He explains that he knows writers who are high level studio writers who've never gotten anything produced. One thing that helped him get this film made had to do with the filmmaker that was attached because you can visualize what the film will be based off of the life of the filmmaker. I keep talking to you guys about packages. Essentially, that's what it's. That's what it is. What is the film made of in terms of talent, the script, the DP, the whole shebang, right? That's your package. Then he goes on to say that they made this film independently. They financed it independently because they took it around town, pitched it to everybody. Nobody knew what to do with it because it was genre bending, meaning it involved different genres. And so they had to produce it, and he's glad he bet on his instincts. He doesn't know what the lesson was, but I do. Here's the lesson behind what he was saying and why it applies to you as an independent filmmaker. You do need to bet on yourself. You absolutely need to bet on yourself. And whether you need to make your film hook or crook, okay, let's back up for a second. There's a lot of filmmakers who make a lot of terrible movies and feel like the world is against them, or mediocre films and feel like the world is against them because it's so hard. Yes, it is hard, but it's not as hard as you're making it when your story isn't there. So I'm always going to say start there. The script level, the script is the foundation of your screenplay. It's shaky if it's not excellent. Your movie is shaky if the script is not excellent. So let's start there. Once your script is excellent, which you could work with me, you can work with a billion people out there, you can work on your craft on your own, whatever, however you get there, take a course, take a class. You don't have to go to film school, but it does help. I know people down film school a lot. Film school changed my life. There's that. Okay. Here's what you need to understand. You need to bet on yourself because of how the industry is changing. And financing your script, once it's strong, very strong, independently, is going to be how you are going to move from this being a hobby to this being a career. There are myriad ways of how to finance your film independently. It's Googleable, but not necessarily accessible for everyone. So ultimately, it really is a lot of throwing spaghetti at the wall if you don't already have those relationships. But the lesson to be learned is that when you're looking to go a traditional route, that traditional route in terms of all the yeses, all the levels of yeses from assistant to executive to their boss, so that all of those levels of yeses that have to happen to get your movie greenlit, they have to be able to put it in a box and say exactly what it is. If your film lives outside of that box, then it behooves you, particularly if your package is not filled with like A-list, whatever, which is mattering less by the day. It behooves you to bet on yourself and figure out how to make your film independently. If you guys want me to make a video about independent financing, I'm happy to. Just write in the comments, make a video about independent financing. But the value of what he's saying is so important and we just gloss over it. Okay, I hope this helps. Happy writing.